Hey there, I'm so glad you made it. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, I wanted to tell you something that took place this weekend with a couple of my clients. It happened twice this weekend with two different clients. So what is it? It was a fire ceremony. So let me tell you about this. So I'll tell you about the one that I worked with today. This lady, she's in her 70s. She's got a little bit of health stuff going on and has been seeing traditional mainstream doctors telling her that she's got some concerns and she should probably slow down. And, they're offering to her, an idea of having a diagnostic test. And, she says, I admit that I'm just a little scared about this. I've had, a really long history of not doing well with anesthesia and everything like that. And I'm just a little concerned about this. So, she happens to know how to kind of check in with her body and just kind of go, what am I feeling about this? So interestingly enough, she happened to be able to check in and notice that she saw this black hole at her pulmonary artery. So, that's kind of a scary thought. That's a pretty major area, right? So what we did was we settled in. I took her in one of those meditations that I take all of you guys through. We just settled in a little bit more intentionally, a little bit more deeply. And as we settled in, a few things started coming up. So things about her childhood and some, unpleasant experiences that when she was sleeping or when she was alone, she was unprotected. And then, there's been times during medical procedures that she's had unfavorable responses in her body. And so then her nervous system has kind of got this idea that if I go under, I'm not protected. I know that's a pretty scary thing, because what happens if you need a life-saving surgery and here your poor nervous system is like, yeah, no, I'm not in for this, right? So we settled into this a little bit more. And the really cool thing was that we soon found out that some of these things that were in her mind, some concerns about, her past, about the surgeries, and about how she needs to move forward were kind of outdated loops, and it was all old stuff. So I said to her, I go, yesterday I cleaned up my garage and I came across a bunch of lumber. Now I want to make it a very important distinction. There's wood, right? There's that stuff, those trees that come up from the ground, and that's wood in its natural state. But when wood has been processed, has been used, or its purpose has been used, it becomes lumber, right? So this is an important distinction. So I said, well, let's look at some of these things that were inside your nervous system, these thoughts about her past, these thoughts about previous medical procedures, her concerns about the future. Is okay. So I says, well, what happens if we take the lumber of all of that stuff that's all outdated? Some of it's cracked, some of it doesn't even work anymore. I mean, some of it you've had to kind of bolster along the way, but what happens if we take the lumber of it all and we create a fire and we go and put all of these outdated beliefs into the fire? Now, I mean to tell you what, the symbolism of this was just outstanding, because the fire in the symbolic and metaphorical way, her being able to go and take all those outdated loops, all those outdated thoughts, these things that were bothering her, we're able to go and create a beneficial fire, right? So as we're talking a little bit more, we're talking to her nervous system and to her, this body part, her pulmonary artery. And we're checking in, seeing if it's feeling any better. And as we were holding it, I was literally holding it. It's all intention. It's all intention. I says to you, how would you like me to hold your pulmonary artery? I just held it gently, just like this. It's all intention. It's all energy. It's no different than a prayer. So as we settled in, her body started softening. She didn't see the black hole anymore. In fact, it went from the consistency of like PT putty, the real hard PT putty, down to the softest, most smoothest, then down to a liquid in between her arteries up here. And she said, wow, I noticed that the artery that's not working up here properly has been affecting my belly. And then it affects my other organs as well. So today, by settling in and speaking with her tissues and finding out, what do you need? What is it that you need to feel supported by? We processed some of the thoughts that she had, that her nervous system felt afraid. By the time she left, by the time we closed our session, before she was in a black hole, right? Wondering, what am I going to do? How do I move forward? By the time we were done, she had at least 3 options to go with. This is the benefit of slowing down enough, of stepping outside of the mainstream, sitting down with your nervous system and going, okay, what is it that was really here? what's really affecting everything. I'm telling you what, to hear, sense, feel, know, hear her tell me she was feeling better, feeling brighter, feeling more empowered. The fire ceremony itself, by taking all of that outdated information, we acknowledged it. We acknowledged his presence, said, yep, I see you. Okay, thank you for stopping by. And then we put it in the fire. Magical. I'm telling you, it shifts things in a way that you cannot even imagine. If this sounds like something you want to hear more, DM me, but I'm telling you, I love fire ceremonies, just to go and shift the stagnant energy, to go and help find answers to questions that you may not have, that you've been praying for, and you just can't seem to get it. Think about this. How many times have you heard somebody say, well, the answers are within you. How do you access them? Just like we did today. Lady walked away with 3 potential possibilities of how to move forward. Amazing. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I so appreciate you. Love y'all.